What is your worst fear about flying? I'm sure everyone has a list of things that could go wrong mid-air. And chances are, this is on that list. Take a look. That was a Boeing 737 MAX 9 plane. On Friday, it was flying from Portland to Ontario. Shortly after takeoff, the unthinkable happened. The plane's side panel blew out. Can you imagine that? You're climbing at 16,000 feet. You're thinking about which movie to watch next. And suddenly, there's a hole in the plane. You can feel and hear the wind. As it turned out, the problem was with the emergency door. It blew out minutes after takeoff. So the pilots turned around. They landed safely back in Portland. And casualties? Surprisingly, none. Not even a single passenger or crew was injured. Experts say it was pure luck. A, the plane was not too high, so the difference in air pressure was not too much. If it was, passengers could have been sucked out. And B, everyone was wearing a seat belt. They were strapped into place. And C, the seat near the emergency door was empty. So what I'm trying to say is this: the accident could have been a lot worse. In the past, similar accidents have led to the death of passengers, which is why regulators are worried. The U.S. Aviation Authority has decided to ground all Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes. That's 171 aircraft grounded. Same story outside the U.S. Carriers in Panama, Brazil and Turkey have grounded their plane. What about India? Well, Indian carriers do not use the 737 MAX 9. They use a different model, the MAX 8. That's what we use in India. Despite that, checks were ordered. Airlines were asked to inspect the emergency doors on their 737 MAX 8. No issues were detected. Which brings us to the most important question. How does an emergency door fall off? The answer may lie in the door itself. It's been found from the backyard of a school teacher.
I'm excited to announce that we found the door plug. Woo! Thank you, Bob. Bob, I will not give you Bob's last name, but Bob contacted us at witness@ntsb.gov with 2 photos of the door plug and said he found it in his backyard, but we're gonna go pick that up and make sure that we begin analyzing it.
And how is Boeing reacting? They've expressed regret for the incident. They've also promised to help in the investigation. But the market is spooked. Boeing shares crashed 8% after this plane was grounded. So what happens next? A thorough investigation, of course. Possibly some modifications or upgrades. Only then will the aircraft be allowed to fly again. Some 600 flights have been cancelled so far. Thousands of passengers have been affected, and chances are there will be more cancellations this week. Now, Boeing will be hoping that this was a one-off, maybe a freak incident. Because if it wasn't, the company could be in trouble. Structural changes can take years to implement, and even then, you must regain customer trust, which is a bigger challenge. So everything hinges on this probe. Worst case, all 737 MAXs could be grounded by the FAA, the American regulators. If that happens, India too will be affected. But problem or not, Boeing will face questions because the 737 MAX has a turbulent past. It was launched back in 2016. It was supposed to be Boeing's big comeback. They had ceded space to rivals like Airbus. So there was a lot riding on the 737 MAX, but soon tragedy hit. In October 2018, a Lion Air 737 MAX crashed in Indonesia. All 189 people on board died. In March 2019, another 737 MAX crashed. All 157 people on board were killed. So regulators grounded the plane. It was only in late 2020 that the 737 MAX was cleared to fly. Boeing had to make a lot of changes. Here in India, the permission came in 2021. Then slowly, carriers started buying it. Around 218 planes have been delivered so far. Just last year, Air India placed a massive order. It is buying 190. Boeing 737 MAX planes, 190 planes. But this accident could derail all of it. It will bring back memories of 2018 and 2019. It will also raise questions on Boeing's engineering.